Welcome to AVG Sports Media. If you've been following the platform long enough, you already know I am your host, 911. And tonight, we jumping off the first episode with my big cuz. I had to bring him in for the first episode of this AVG Sports Media thing. EJ, a.k.a. Snack, what's happening with your cousin?
Man, just chilling, represent AVG.
Hey, I ain't see the shirt. I ain't peeping. That's what's happening. Look, you already know why we here, man. I think the biggest story in sports right now, you already know, is the NFL. And you know, we grew up around football all our life, man. We had these conversations off camera all the time, so this ain't nothing but a recorded one. But so what we gonna do tonight is we just gonna break down. I just want your opinion on who you think the top three teams of the AFC are, the top three teams of the NFC are that actually have a chance. We done got all the riffraff out the way, include my team. Cowboys sitting home will be well rested for the start of next year. And yeah, get them out the way, man. I ain't got to hear no more noise talking. I ain't got to get no more ticks. We out the way. We just a speed bump. Yeah. But before we get into that though, let's talk about some breaking news right quick. I saw the Ravens release Harbaugh. How you feel about his tenure in Baltimore? Do you think it was time to move on, or you think they should have gave him one more run with a healthy team?
Yeah, they could have gave him one more run because obviously the season was up and down, injuries and stuff like that, and a lot of miscues on that offensive side of the ball. Early in the season, Derrick Henry had fumbling problems. Don't know why, because he's not a fumble guy, but
that was odd.
At all. The offense wasn't in sync. Then Lamar Jackson got hurt, set him back a couple of games and stuff. But they bounced back pretty good and put themselves in contention, to beat up and try to get in the playoffs. 18 seasons. You can't.
Long
Both parties, they can't get mad for what had to let him go. He can't get mad for he did bring him a Super Bowl. Him and Lamar Jackson. I haven't checked the numbers, but I'm pretty sure they put some good numbers up for like a coach and quarterback. Belichick and Tom Brady. He didn't get the rings, but what he was 2 times MVP twice.
Yeah. MVP of the league.
He got to be the first brother to do that. 2 times.
Let me ask you this about Lamar Jackson. Let me ask you this, because he getting into that point now. It was kind of like this with Peyton Manning. I know you remember back in the day when Peyton Manning kept getting beat by Brady. The whole thing started being as can they get over the hump? Can they get over the hump? Now, to me, what I think the difference was is Peyton Manning was always more of a pure pocket passer. So his longevity and how much longer he stayed in the league didn't depend on his athleticism. Now, Lamar's getting to the point, like you just said, he's had a couple injuries. It's kind of been some nagging stuff, hamstring stuff like that. But the further that he gets along in his career, when speed might dissipate a little bit and he might have to rely on more pocket passing, do you think he'll still be able to get over the hump on the back end? Or do you think that window kind of closed and he need to kind of do it within the next 3 years?
From what I've seen out of Lamar Jackson and the talent he displayed, he passes, but he's not an elite passer.
Mm.
So he uses athleticism a lot to get the job done. And in the NFL, that's a small window. That's not a longevity window. You got to use your legs. You can ask all the people that had to use their legs. Only person I can really think about using their legs for a long time, and you remember, is Donovan McNabb, and he stayed in the pocket a lot to pass.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to think.
And he was more of a pure passer, I think, than Lamar.
Every now and then, so correct me if I'm wrong. If you generally athlete that's a quarterback, that window's not, and he shows that he's more athletic quarterback than a pocket passer traditional quarterback. Can he turn it around? It's going to take him going to some Madden camps or something.
It's some Madden camps. I know the Madden is going to feel that. Yeah.
Just sitting in the pocket going, that ain't never been his game.
Yeah. So look, on the flip side of that, let me ask you about, because Josh Allen kind of in that same window too. He's an athletic quarterback. A lot of people, sometimes downplay his athleticism, but he is more of a pure pocket passer. But he's getting to the point where that window is like, I don't know if it's shrinking on him, but do you think Buffalo doing enough to build around him before that window closed? But Right now, I'm kind of up in the air with like what I see they can do with the weapons that they have. I'm kind of disappointed in Keon Coleman too, as I thought he'd be more of an
Yeah,
impact player.
yeah. I think he got a little bit more longevity than Lamar Jackson for his like how many years because he do run and he uses athleticism a lot, but you also see Josh Allen sit in that pocket a lot of times and go through his progressions and it's looking like when he don't see it in here, Lamar Jackson just see, oh y'all not covering me, you know what I'm saying? I think not Lamar. I think Josh got a little bit more long open window than Lamar, but Buffalo need to tighten up and make sure that they get these they don't have to get the elite receivers or the elite running backs. Just make sure that line is doing what it's supposed to do for Josh, and at least give him some complementary skill players, kind of like what Tom Brady had. Brady just really ain't have elite, but he had some good compliments, and boy,
Yeah,
they did their job. They complimented
they
him good.
did their job.
I'm not seeing what Buffalo just got. Those the Wes Welkers. You know what I'm saying? Stuff.
Edelman's.
The Cooper Cup type cats. If you start putting stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that around Josh Allen, I think you'll see him. Supersede a lot of things. Because he do a lot with what he got. Yeah, he do.
Mm-hmm.
So, you give him those traditional, like I say, complimentary guys around him, them running backs that can catch out the backfield, and I think he got one right now. I like that Cook boy, you know,
Yeah, he nice.
that
You
young.
got he's solid.
Yeah, he nice. But with that being said, long as Buffalo organization know to keep if they don't have him, like keep that in this, within the offense, and Josh will be there for a long time. He gonna be
Yeah.
there for a long time.
And
Yeah.
see what you said about Josh. Why I'm not as worried about Josh because on another note too, Josh has more of that Cam Newton frame. I feel like he can take a little bit more punishment for how he played. Lamar has always been strong, but he's always had that wiry frame. That more athletic frame.
Yeah.
And look,
I'm not taking away what Lamar Jackson do because credit to what he do, it works and it works at a high
yeah, it's
level.
nothing like him.
But
It's nothing like him in the league.
if he playing at 34, 35, he's still gonna be that explosive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's football we talking about too. So your body, is gonna wear down. That wear and tear.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
if he had to change his game to more traditional quarterback, I'm not saying he can't do it, but it'll be a real interesting to see him do it.
And we've had prior examples with somebody like, as you can say, Mike Vick, because I don't really want to compare Lamar to Cunningham because I think Cunningham was still more of a pocket passer than he gets credit for. But Mike Vick, by the time he got to Philly, he wasn't Mike Vick from Atlanta, but he was still athletic enough to get around the defensive end, pick up 9-10. But he had just took so much punishment before he got to that point to where, like you say, football is an unforgiving sport. One wrong hit, one wrong sliding too late, and
You
boom,
be
you
like,
got your RG3 situation.
because I thought he was gonna show off, but boy, that one wrong hit, the guy came from Baylor,
RG3.
RG3, woo woo, took him out
He
early.
had that same game as Vic early on, though. You will run 1 yard too much. Just 1 yard too much. Instead of sliding, instead of going out, but you will get that one extra yard that didn't make sense and get blew up.
That boy was a commentator early in his career.
Yeah, exactly. And look, before we get into the teams that's going to be actually playing this weekend, I want to ask you about these two teams that's got the actual bye week, Denver and Seattle, because I didn't see it coming. What do you think about Denver and Seattle as the two number ones?
Well, you didn't see it coming, but we both can say those organizations do what they do to make sure that their team get back on top. I mean, it's not no secret to nobody. They had their run, up and down. Seattle, we already know Seattle always had their runs before even your boy got there. They took him to the Super Bowl.
Russ.
Yeah, before he did it, they went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
If I want to remember, with Hasselbeck, whoever that was Hasselbeck. Yeah.
It was House. One of them.
Yeah, it was one of them. Like, they was brothers. One of them brothers.
Oh, yeah, brothers in the league.
Traditional name. It was, the Seattle being Seattle. Seattle tough. They got that defense, and they got a proven quarterback. You ask me. I know people been trying to ride Sam Darnold, but he did enough to me. When he was in Minnesota, he looked good when he was the backup with my Niners. So
He did.
yeah, and right now he didn't skip a beat when he went to Seattle. Seattle just
Yeah.
have no big standout names. They got that rookie receiver with that whatever that last name he got. No 11. He nice, but you understand
Yeah.
he just getting to the league, and this is Sam Darnold's first time with Seattle, and look where he got him. So and
Thanks.
this is after Pete Carroll.
After Pete Carroll.
You
That's
got a
right.
new coach and knew everything, and Sam Darnold handling it like a champ. But then, like I say, Seattle traditionals. It didn't really surprise me. The only surprising thing I can say is looking at Sean Payton and doing that in Denver. He did it in New Orleans. He had a nice little, but
Bo Nix, man. I always say Bo Nix look like a state trooper. What you think about Bo Nix?
he definitely like a state trooper.
He got that look.
Bo Nix right now, to me, he's an unpredictable quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the unpredictable part is I'm saying about him is not in a bad way because Bo Nix can beat you in a lot of ways himself. He can run, he can throw. But the unpredictable thing about him is he's not a traditional quarterback in the pocket, and he's just not a traditional runner. So you're like, what he's gonna do when
He respectable both ways.
yeah, he kind of give a good balance of both tradition and athlete.
Yeah.
And then you got that coach, mastermind, and really, I think he's gonna make him an elite quarterback when it's said and done.
You think he can get to elite status?
Yeah, with Sean Payton as his coach, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sean Payton he's a genius with that playbook, and Sean Payton, he's gonna call according to what he got. So he's not gonna make Bo Nix. So and it's working. You see, Denver got that. Hey, they got a bye. They got a good comfortable situation because you got to go play in Denver. That ain't no fun.
That ain't no fun. That mile high.
That ain't easy.
Yeah. That ain't easy. 12 men.
Both of them got strong defenses and strong running games. And that's what you need.
That's what you need in the playoffs.
I mean, the only thing shocking about it, I guess, because Denver, Bo Nix, young quarterback. You still looking for the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allen, the Lamar Jacksons. You still want to, have control of the AFC. But hey, not like old boy said.
It's the changing of the guards right now. It's the changing of the guards.
Yeah. So
let me ask you this, then. Those are the two teams with a bye. Now I'm looking over the AFC and the NFC, and I'm looking at the names. Like you said, it's a lot of new faces. We got the Caleb Williams. We got Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh now. We got CJ Stroud. I'm looking at teams and I'm thinking about their QBs. That's how I kind of pick sometimes favorites, even no matter if you got home field advantage. Now we got Trevor Lawrence. People been waiting for him to be the next thing, best thing since sliced bread, since Clemson. They wanted to put a Hall of Fame jacket on him earlier. He kind of fell off. Now he kind of being who they thought he was going to be on early on. Then we got your guys out there, Purdy. No matter how much people talk down on him, he still continues to do what Purdy does and putting up elite numbers. So just scanning over the playoffs, over both conferences, I just want you to let's start with the AFC. Out of those teams named, out of those quarterbacks, 3 teams that you think got a legitimate shot, and kind of just break down your reason why you say you'll put them above everybody else.
Bills, Denver, and I like the Patriots way, man. I'm gonna go with the Patriots way.
What you feel about, because we talking about new quarterbacks, what you feel about the young style there?
Man,
that's another one that got that state trooper look.
Because
consistent. Yeah.
In every game they play, so they got my respect. They overshadowed some big dogs, the big names, Mahomes, some of the other names that was in there. The coach took off real good, but they started, sliding at that back end. When old boy was a wrap. But them the 3 I'm gonna go with the AFC. Obviously, Josh Allen, been there, done that. He's very comfortable. And I like the coaching that Denver come with, and I like the coaching that the Patriots come with. And they got the team to execute what the coaches want them to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. Speaking of been there, done that, do you think Aaron Rodgers got one more bullet in the clip that he can fire off, or it's gonna be too much for him to get
Yeah,
through with
he
that
can't. Yeah,
Pittsburgh
I
squad?
think Aaron Rodgers can. Only thing I want to say Pittsburgh, but I ain't go with Pittsburgh because I think they can win their first matchup. You know, that ain't a bad matchup going against old boy. You know, and the Houston got that. They got a nice team, but that's the best matchup Pittsburgh probably won the first round, and then they got to go to Pittsburgh with it too. So
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers can sneak his way in. Is the team around Aaron Rodgers going to have and they gonna have
Yeah.
that mindset. Aaron Rodgers gonna carry. Um, if it click, they got enough defense. I don't too much care for their offense too much, but they got enough defense to make some noise. And obviously, you got a proven coach. You got to realize it's the playoffs.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. And what I've been noticing, like you say, they got just enough defense because this ain't the 300 yards a game, Aaron Rodgers. It's like he been averaging 199, 215-ish up in there, but he make that one throw to let you know, like, hey, don't play with me. Don't leave nobody streaking up that sideline. Don't leave nobody. He still can read and manipulate defenses. So yeah, so I just give him in that nod aside of that. And Justin Herbert, we leaving you off, so you make us say your name because I just don't have enough faith in y'all right now.
I don't like him going in there with that cash.
Yeah,
that's scary for me, and I don't. If he can play through it, kudos. And they're another scary team. They got a proven coach. I don't too much care for that cast on his arm in the playoff. People gonna be trying to target that hand.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
They're going to test it for him.
They're going to test it, yeah.
All right, now to the NFC. Same question. Give me 3 teams. You know your boys over there, so I'm going to see where they land on. Yeah.
So I'm gonna obviously the 49ers.
Okay.
Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
And the Los Angeles Rams.
Man, so that's a strong 3. Let me ask you this. Hey.
11-3 and 14 and 2 wins, 2 3 losses. I think nobody got no more than 4 losses if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
So that's tough.
Let me ask you this. Now, early on, Bryce Young, people were ready to write him off. He almost came to the point where, is he going to stay in the league? But Bryce Young kind of came along now. I know he wasn't in your top 3, but just how you feel about Carolina, where they at now with Bryce Young? Should they still continue their project building around him?
Keep building around that boy.
Okay.
He getting very comfortable.
I see.
And not just comfortable, I'm seeing him getting confidence with it.
That's what was missing.
That's scary. I mean, he did come from a traditional, university, and he won the Heisman.
Yeah.
I didn't feel comfortable in a couple of years like he is right now. And he doing it with a team too. Carolina ain't got no fancy, flashy team.
They don't.
Yeah, so
they don't. Now I'm gonna ask you about this last QB because he was another one. Fresh out of high school, I was always more of a Jaden Daniels than Caleb Williams, but I always respected Caleb Williams' talent. I saw what he was doing at USC, but I'm like, if y'all gonna crown him, like Jaden Daniels was doing this at LSU with no defense and knew he had to put up 50 every Saturday too. So I always felt like they were kind of elevating Caleb a little more than Jay, but I'm starting to see it now. I'm starting to see what they saw because early on I was kind of like more flash than substance. Where you at with Caleb Williams? Bears got one?
Yeah.
He got swag. No. Yeah.
So you put a playmaker around him like somebody with I know this is an older cat, but boy, like give him like a fresh, like a DeAndre Hopkins. I know DeAndre Hopkins old and stuff, but give him a receiver of that caliber.
Yeah.
Keep somebody around him like that. He go give him a good tight end. Give him a good tight end. A good safety target.
Yeah. And look, I'm going to end it on this with Caleb Williams. This is my favorite quote. When I say swag and cocky, when that reporter asked him, so I forgot how he phrased it, but he was like, "Look, I can make every throw." He said, "Don't even worry about it. I can make every throw." They said, that boy said, "I got confidence in this cannon
Yeah.
on my own."
Yeah.
So yeah. So shout out Caleb Williams, man. Do your thing, brother. But that was all I wanted to tap in with you tonight, man. I thank you for tapping into the first segment of AVG Sports Media, man. I had to tap into one of the brightest sports minds I know. You know, we always running with sports media,
Yeah,
getting
man.
me
We,
with
we,
stuff.
we, you know, we can go deep into it all we want. You know, we just really touching the surface. But that's all
Touching
we
the
been doing
surface.
all our life.
Yeah. And look, we're going to see how these 3 picks go this weekend because I'm kind of with your picks. Hey, we're going to leave it right there. We're going to tap in, you know, as the playoffs move around. If some of the teams fall out, we might just tap back in and see what we like moving forward. So, hey, cuz I appreciate you tapping in with me tonight.
No problem, cuz.
And y'all know how we in Demand Sports epitomize the AVG platform because when you start the season, you got a vision. Everybody got one goal, and that's to win that chip at the end if you're a real legitimate team. So always visualize your goals, and after that, accomplish those visualized goals. NFL playoffs, AVG Sports Media. Stay tuned.